on the year.
That's quite the impressive turnaround. And for Rollins today, they really hope they can capitalize off.
Yes, as
Yep.
starting to get underway here after the last warm-up pitch. Big game. I know we kind of had a pitcher's duel yesterday. It was more of a low-scoring game, but two very dominant teams.
Indeed, we did. Both neither team hit above 200 or hit around 200. But today is a new day. And leading off for Tampa, Lauren Fantone. That one's outside for ball one, and we are underway.
Fantone in the leadoff spot. However, she has 11 RBIs, which is a lot more than what you'd expect.
Tried to square up for a bunt. They said she went, and it's 1-1.
Thought maybe it looked like she pulled back, but it might have been just a little bit too late, as we're seeing some great pitching here from Taylor Hartman to start the game.
Fantone making her 27th start of the season in the team's 27th game. Hitting .314. Both teams do have a lot of high average hitters.
Yeah, both these teams tend to have a lot of offense, and I think that's what we saw yesterday is when two teams with a lot of great offense go up against each other, it doesn't always produce more offense.
Well, couple that with two great pitchers on the hill, and Mariah Galhouse and, of course, the award-winning, or the award-nominated Emily McMullen. This is outside.
She
for
thought
ball
about
three.
going there. She almost went for it, but saw that it dipped at the end right there.
Full count. The pitch, low and away, and we'll start with a walk.
So, again, some great pitching to start there. She really commanded the zone, but just at the end there, just slipped away a little bit. Speedy center fielder up to the plate now.
Lily Keister. Dish tries to bunt here. Tars were prepared for it.
They're going in. Definitely don't want to let a runner get a second here early. The thing about such a great team like Tampa, I mean, Rollins has got to play great defensively, and that's what we're seeing.
Rollins smart enough to prepare for this too. We saw them working on a lot of ground balls in warm-ups.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like almost the entire time during warm-ups they were fielding ground balls in different areas, sometimes even in the grass and sometimes in the dirt.
2-0 count. Still can't make contact on the bunt. 2-1.
Great job from Taylor Hartman keeping the ball on the outside. That makes it really hard for Lily to get a bat on it, especially when she's trying to bunt.
Keister doesn't make contact, again goes around, 2-2. Keister, a .356 hitter this year. Does have 2 triples to her name. Now facing a 2-2. Rollins is prepared for the steal here, as every time it seems like the catcher in Emma Gipple keeps popping up, ready to make a throw. Full count once again. Grounded to short, and they have a chance at 2. There's 1, but can't convert the second out of the double play, but they do get an out at second.
Yeah, Grace Germer played that ground ball perfectly and was able to get it over to Ashley Troutman standing on second base, and a great rally over to Claire Long, but just couldn't get the squeeze on it at the end. Wasn't sure if she was safe as well either way, but great play defensively by Rollins.
Heads up work there. Emma Galhouse now at the plate. Was strong for 6 innings in the circle yesterday before Rollins got to her late.
Taylor had to face back-to-back lefties off the very start of this game, but luckily now the next 3 batters are righties. as the catcher, Emma, heading out to talk to Taylor for a second, just for a second. And she'll head back. Not even sure if a full sentence was said there.
2-0 pitch. Claire Long seems to be shifted in a little bit. It's first for Rollins. That ball is ripped foul behind third.
Mariah Galehouse to the plate now. Having a pretty good season so far. Has already scored 15 runs and leads the team with 29 RBI.
That ball gets away from Gipple, and the runner will advance to second.
Emma was doing a great job earlier in this at-bat, making those stops behind the plate, not allowing the runner to advance. Unfortunately, one eventually did get away.
3-1 count, and now another full count. 3 full counts to open the game.
Yeah, good inside fastball right there. Taylor definitely having to work the zone against these Tampa players, as we've seen them fight to stay alive with these foul balls.
Three-two pitch, grounded to third. Nice play to turn one, and the runner will get to first.
And she wasn't able to get it over to first because it hit her forearm for sure.
But props to Bree Michelli there for realizing that she may not have a play at first and then settling for the out at third.
And she's still in pain out there, so the trainer's gonna come out and take a look.
Definitely not a sight Rollins wants to see.
So 1 out, runners on first and second.
Michelli, the sophomore from Azale, Texas. We continue to look at her.
That'll give
It'll give time for an impromptu visit for Taylor Hartman. It appears Michelli is good to go. Michelli's good to go. They call for strike one. And it's coming to the plate now. Camera winning.
at bat here, working the 1-1 count.
Menninger. Hartman deals. Gets her swinging for strike two.
Great inside fastball there to work the count now into a 1-2. And one away.
Hartman with the runners on first and second. Delivers, that's low. Gipple able to recover.
Great stop there. That would have advanced the runners to second and third, which could have been bad. That would take away a force out and still only one out here. So the Tars need that double play scenario.
Gipple's done a fantastic job at catcher this year, only limiting herself to 2 pass balls all season. Yet another full count. Deals, and that's called upstairs for ball number 4. And the bag's juiced early with 1 out.
Very close pitch. The Rollins fans definitely weren't a fan of that one, as it looked close, but that'll bring up Alexa Russo now.
Russo, a .368 hitter. Slugging percentage close to 600 as well.
Big out here because the next batter is a lefty. which will make it tougher.
Well, in all honesty, a bases loaded situation is just something you don't want to be in general. But Rollins is talented enough defensively. 1-1 count.
Just going to want to start trying to not go full count every single at-bat. So far we've had 4 full counts in a row. So hopefully she can work this one a little faster. Said she has the lowest ERA on the team, so they're going to want her in as long as they possibly can. And running up the pitch count.
On the 2-1. Did she go? They say she did. It's 2-2.
Big call there. Tampa parents are very upset with this call, and the third base coach is also coming down to discuss it. Umpire wants no part of it. Tampa parents very upset with the call.
2-2. Strike 3 looking. A big strikeout there from Taylor Hartman to record out number 2.
That was a big strike 3 right there. A little too focused on maybe the previous pitch call, as the parents were still upset about that second strike call up here while the third strike was called.
Avery Perkins. Perkins is now up.
Another strike. Now she's thrown 4 strikes in a row, which is exactly what she needs for her pitch count, as she's been working the pitch count pretty high so far.
You know, I noticed this yesterday and I see it now. She creeps up to the front of the batter's box every pitch.
Definitely a strategy that some players use. She's doing that for every single pitch, getting ready.
Just something you're not really used to seeing.
Exactly. It's cool to see these unique, different ways that people learn and play the game.
1-2 count for Hartman. Misses for ball 2.
Bases loaded here with no runs scored yet. Looking to get out of a big jam here.
Now, Tampa yesterday failed to record a hit in 2-out situations, but they get it here as it's lined into right for a base hit, and that will bring home 1, and the second throw is not in time. 2 runners score for Tampa.
Walker had a great throw from right field. She threw it into home plate, and again, great throw. It just looked like she beat the tag by a millisecond.
That throw was nicely thrown from right. Couldn't ask for a better throw, but like you said, the timing just off by half a second.
So that technique, I guess it works out as the lefty at the second. Looks like we're starting to figure out what kind of zone we're going to see for the rest of the day. It looks like it's favoring those outside pitches.
Gets her swinging 1-1. Chopped foul.
So Tampa jumped out to a big 2-0 lead. However, we've seen a lot of great things from Rollins. Taylor Hartman's pitching very well, and we're seeing great things defensively. The first and third baseman were working really well, and Tampa was trying to bunt. Really great fielding on all corners. Third baseman Bree took a hard hit ball to the chest, and then right fielder Walker had a great throw from right field. Didn't even need the cutoff man.
Chopped short, and that'll get through for a hit. May have come off the glove. It's short.
That brings another run home as the runner who just came in whispered something to the batter. You see that, I've started to see that a lot in the MLB is players right after they hit, they'll go up to the next batter and tell them what to look for. So maybe that's what she was doing after she came home. Won't know. We'll see.
Runner on third, Cameron Winningetter, or Winningrenner, or Winningers. My apologies. Ready to make a move at third. Hartman falls behind on the count 2-0.
Great pitch right there. Had some fire behind it and put her right in the zone where she wasn't looking for it.
DeSimone, 333 hitter for Tampa.
And she's only a sophomore as well. A lot of young talent for each of these teams. Sometimes you'll see with teams there's almost all seniors on a team or in the
especially
starting
on a
lineup.
team of this caliber too.
Exactly. These are very high up teams. I believe Rollins is 5th in the Sunshine State Conference, and I believe Rollins is 1st in softball.
Runner advances from first, Lexi Chevalier. Yet another full count. Chop to third, they're going to say foul.
Definitely would have been ball 4 there, but again, you got to fight off when you have 2 strikes. You never know what they're going to call.
Another payoff pitch. High and away, ball 4.
So still working a high pitch count.
Next up, shortstop number 2, Stephanie Ballmer.
Ballmer now up for Tampa. Big hit yesterday.
That'll be her 48th pitch for Hartman, and we're still in the 1st inning.
Tampa already to the bottom of their lineup here with Ballmer.
So not the start that Rollins wanted, but luckily only the 1st inning. A lot to look forward to here. We haven't even seen the bats of the Rollins Tallers yet. However, 49 pitches in the 1st inning with your aces is not exactly the start they were looking for.
As we know, Rollins a very high-octane offensive team.
Yes.
So they are built to come out of an early hole like this. Hartman ahead of the count, 1-2. 2 out and the base is full. Got her swinging for strike 3. And that will end the top half of the 1st. Tampa leading Rollins 3-0. We'll be right back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Welcome back for the bottom half of the 1st inning. And the Rollins Stars find themselves in an early 3-0 hole, but they've got the perfect offense to get them out of this. It starts with Ashley Troutman who is one stolen base away from the program record. So if she's able to reach base today, she can get a shot at breaking that school record.
Very likely, especially with the double header going on today.
Also first in the country in batting average, hits, and stolen bases.
That's what they call the triple crown of softball as of now. Never heard of anybody doing it. Could be the first.
Troutman rips this foul. 2-1 count. Hopefully no cars were parked behind third there.
Ashley Troutman leading this team with batting average, batting .529 coming into today's game with a 77% slugging percentage. So that means 77% of her hits are double or better.
It's got to be a nightmare to face if you are a pitcher.
Yeah, not much you can throw to her, as you know she's going to get a hold of it.
She's ahead 3-1, now 3-2. As it's fouled back to the screen.
Working the count full. We saw a lot of full counts, as you said, in that top half of the first inning. If you're just now joining us, we had Taylor Hartman is on the mound. Had about 50 pitches in that first inning.
Chopped to short. It's going to be close. But the throw is in time for out number one.
She's very fast. Got all the way down the line. Almost beat out the throw. However, the shortstop for Tampa Bay, Stephanie Ballmer, had a great rifle throw to first.
Now up Grace Germer. Did have a hit in that ninth inning rally that Rollins had. They're hoping to continue into the first inning of this game. High for ball one. Germer's second team all-conference a year ago. Continuing up that toward play, as that is ripped in the left, and that'll fall at the wall. This is going for at least two, and she will get in the second standing for a double.
She got all of that one, was able to drive it to left field, and it hit off of the wall hard enough and got away from Lauren Fantone out in left field.
Germer second in the team on with average, hitting .390 coming into today.
That was her sixth double of the season.
Now up is Brema Shelley, who we saw earlier at third, had that scary moment where it looked like she may have been injured. But it's good to see her at the plate here just a few minutes later.
It was a right forearm. It looked like what got injured. So hopefully it's not affecting any batting here.
Germer was ready to go. This is popped up behind first, and a great play made by the first baseman, Kate DeSimone.
Great play. It actually looked like Grace Germer was taking off for third base. So we might have had a little bit of a hit and run situation there.
Taylor Waters hitting cleanup now for the Tars. As that one smacked down the middle, mishandled by the shortstop. That'll bring home a run. And Waters will drive home the run. 2 outs. 3-1 now.
It's exactly the start that Rollins wanted to have today, especially offensively. Back-to-back great hits. The shortstop laid out for Tampa. Props to her, but just tipped off the edge of the glove. Great hit.
I mentioned just a minute ago the Tars had that big rally at the end of the seventh. Mentioned it was the ninth earlier because you used to baseball, but it was the seventh inning rally. That it was all kick-started by a Claire Long base hit. Long rips this over third, and it's going to fall fair for a base hit. Now 2 on for Rollins with 2 out.
Taylor Waters almost took off for third and got a little over a quarter of the way there before she picked up her third base coach.
Walker drove home Waters with a home run to right in that seventh. Here she is now with 2 on in the bottom half of the first. Pitch is high for ball one, Mary Beth Feldman.
As I said, she's having somewhat of a comeback year with ERA in the twos. And last season, again with Utah, a very high ERA at a 1-5 record. So she transferred to Tampa this year. However, Rollins, it looks like they've found the bat against her very early here.
Has had an uncharacteristically slow start. She falls behind the count 2-1 here. Jaden Walker.
Batting a solid .250 on the year.
The junior from Palm Beach Gardens swings at that one 2-2.
She actually had her 100th at bat last game.
Two out, 2 on. Foul behind first.
Right over towards where I parked my car. I think I made the wrong decision in my parking today. We'll see as the game goes.
We did see one car get hit yesterday. Always sucks to see.
Always. Very unlucky.
That's ripped. Nice play made at third by Alexa Russo to get out number 3. Tampa allows 1 on 3 hits. No walks. 3-1 lead for the Spartans going to the second.
Welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. I'm Joseph Lemelin aside Carlos Mancia, and we're here for some Rollins Tar softball as we get back into the action of things here in the top of the second. And it'll be the leadoff hitter for Tampa, Lauren Fonto, who has walked on her first appearance. Got thrown out at second in the next at-bat. Taylor Hartman, great pitch. Painted that outside corner. Bring it to a 1-1 count here. Taylor had a little over 50 pitches at the end of the first inning.
Though she did end the inning quite strongly, so hoping to see that carry over in the second are the fans of the Tars.
Absolutely. She had a great start and a great finish. It was just a good piece of hitting from Tampa in the very beginning. Swing and a miss.
They've been
Great
a touch
pitch.
of movement there to throw off the batter in Lauren.
Looked like it dropped off a little bit there and dropped in speed as well. That'll bring the count to 2-2. Way off the plate. That'll bring it to another full count. And I wish I would have kept track of how many we've had. It's got to be number 6 or 7.
That sounds about right.
And the full count is in the dirt. So Lauren Fonto is walked for her second time today.
Tars had a great double play opportunity. They nearly pulled off back in the first. Just great heads-up defending.
Lily Keister, very speedy outfielder. As she goes for the bunt again, she was trying for that bunt in the first inning. And you see Claire Long and Bree Michelli making their way in. And the Rollins coach. And we have a new pitcher coming in now for the Tars.
Early exit for Hartman.
That'll bring in Avery Garbarek. She's got a 6.81 ERA. She's appeared in 6 games and pitched a total of 12 innings.
She has only limited herself, though, to only 1 extra base hit.
But Taylor Hartman, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, 2 Ks, and 2 earned runs. So some great pitching. I guess they were going to give her another shot here in the second inning. But after seeing that walk, the Rollins head coach Christine Rosero Fevers, in her second season, decides to pull Taylor Hartman. As, again, we're in that beginning of the lineup, so a very dangerous part with a lefty as well in Lily Keister.
And you have to also consider that fatigue may be a factor, too. She threw close to 50 in the first inning.
Exactly.
And considering that we're going to have to go on for quite a few innings, you may want to preserve your arm for later in the season.
Exactly. So we'll have Lily Keister step into the box now. She's 0 for 1 on a fielder's choice. She reached first and eventually scored. We'll see if she goes for the bunt again. And she squared up, but the ball was nowhere near the zone, so she pulls back last second. Taylor had already thrown 1 pitch to Lily before the pitching change, so she came into this in a 1-0. Went for a later bunt that time, it looks like, bringing the count to 3-0 now. Seeing a common thing among all of the pitchers, they like to take a little bit of dirt at the back to get some dirt on their hands, and 3 straight outside balls will send Lily Keister to first.
I'm just thinking back to that first inning at bat for Keister. Isn't it odd to see a full count on just mostly bunt attempts?
So no outs with runners on first and second.
Looks like they were going for the bunt again.
Good strategy so far. Tampa hasn't been able to get a bunt down in fair territory this game. This would be a big place to do it for Mariah Gallo, who's already 1 for 1. She had a single. Foul back is the bunt. So now she has a 1-1 count. Sunny day here in Winter Park, 84 degrees, not a whole lot of wind. We see some gusts every now and then.
I think it's blowing the center. And it's blowing your papers away.
Called strike there. It's kind of a delayed strike. Usually they call him pretty quick, but he waited a second before making the decision.
Nice play made at third.
Called safe back over at first. Great play by Bree Michelli, and heads up the throw over to Claire Long.
Brings up second baseman number 12, Karen Whittier.
So that'll just be 1 out, and now they're set up for a double play. That was a best case scenario for Rollins there, as no runners advance.
And again, they nearly pulled it off.
And runner stealing for third, and she's tagged out. And she does not agree with that over at third base. The throw definitely beat her. They're just questioning the tag, and she is not leaving third base as they decide to argue, and she goes off third.
That was just a fantastic throw.
Absolutely. Emma Gipple rifled that one down to third base.
And it felt like she's been waiting to make that throw all day long.
So now they've got 2 outs. The double steal was half successful as Lily Keister standing out on second base. And Cameron Winninger, first strike of the at-bat, brings it to a 2-1 count now.
Tar's expecting something, another ground ball, it appeared.
Now a hitter's count. And perfect pitch right on the outside corner brings us to another full count with 2 outs. Important here. Rollins has not given up a run this inning after they brought in Avery Garbarek. Fouled off, left side. So still a 3-2 count. And a walk would bring up Alexa Russo, batting in the 5 spot today.
Now, if you're the hitter, do you swing at this?
Ball 4. So she'll take first base. And that'll bring up Alexa Russo, a close pitch on that high inside corner. But as we discussed earlier, it looks like he's setting up to call more of the outside than inside pitches this game.
Looks like Tampa was ready for another double steal attempt.
Which they definitely could go for that. Emma Gipple will be ready to throw. And rolled just barely foul at the last second. Bree Michelli has been fielding a lot of the balls here in the second inning. She has gotten both of the outs of this inning so far. And ground ball to the left side again.
I just have a feeling they want to test her at this point. Thus far, she's passed the test.
Yeah, Avery's going right at this batter. Only a 1-2 count. We've seen a lot of throwaway pitches sometimes, but she's going right for it. Bounces off her glove. Shortstop eats it. Smart play from Ashley Troutman. And we'll get a new softball.
You mentioned that was a very smart play from Troutman. You risk a throwing error there, and then you just realize, cut your losses, move on.
Exactly. There's no one really backing up Claire Long over there at first. So if the ball got by, that could have potentially even been 2 runs. So, and the ball gets by, and 1 run will score, and the runners will advance to second and third. So Lily Keister scores from third. And as I said earlier, it looks like they've been giving advice to the next person after they come home. So maybe a little insight on the pitcher. Last time she was up, she had 2 RBIs. Avery Perkin, batting lefty. So 4-1, Tampa leads.
That was scored as a wild pitch.
And another ball in the dirt brings this to a quick 3-0 count.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the 2 RBI base hit last time up.
Great framework there from Emma Gipple. May have been a little off that outside corner, but she framed it perfectly, so it definitely looked like a strike. So hitters count, 3-1. Ball 4. And Avery Perkins will take first base, so bases loaded. Avery Perkins on first, Alexa Russo on second, and Cameron Winninger on third base. That'll bring up Lexi Chevalier. Chevalier. Great pitch in the upper right corner right there for strike one. So 2 outs. The Tars trying to work out of this inning. Popped up. Way foul into the parking lot. Didn't hear a crash, so quick 0-2 with 2 outs.
Chevalier reached on an error back in the first.
As she hit one a ton out to left field.
Into the bullpen.
Made a lot of solid contact, but it's looking like so far almost all of these Tampa players are swinging early, fouling it off to the left side. And a straight pop-up. Left fielder Kaylee settling under and catches it right at the wall. So that'll take us into the bottom of the second as Tampa scores 1 here. You're listening to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We'll be back. And welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. I'm Joseph Lemelin aside Carlos Mancia. We're here for some more Rollins softball at Martin Luther King Jr. Field here in sunny Winter Park, 84 degrees. And it's currently 4-1. Tampa is leading. And the DH for Rollins, Sarah Young, stepping up, and she'll quickly pop it up to the second baseman, who calls off the first baseman and catches it. Cameron Winninger catches the ball over at second base. So after a quick first out, that'll bring it to Emma Gipple, the catcher, who made a lot of good plays behind the dish.
She's been fantastic defensively today, and that actually fantastic might be an understatement.
This is Gipple's first at-bat so far. It'll be Emma Gipple, Kaylee Zarodnik, and then it'll be back to the top of the order, starting with Ashley Troutman. That's who's due up with 1 out here, 2-0 count. She takes another ball inside. And although Tampa is leading, the parents are still not very happy with how this game has been umpired so far, all the way through it. Strike right down the middle. Might not have had the green light there either, as she works a hitter's count now.
Gipple, a 158 hitter, but I think what she lacks offensively makes up for on defense as she draws the walk here.
Absolutely, and it's just a walk is the same thing as a hit, so that's exactly what Rollins needs right now, especially with such a tight game. They're definitely going to want to score at least a run an inning to keep up with such a big Tampa Bay offense.
Just the 6th walk she's drawn all year.
So Kaylee squaring up to bunt. long before the pitch is even ready to go, and she pulls back. So maybe just trying to draw a few balls here. 1-0 count. We'll see if she goes with the same strategy, and she will. She squares up.
We saw the Tars have some success with that late yesterday.
Base hit into left field. Lauren Fantone fields it and gets it in, so runners on first and second. So we're back to the top of the lineup, and Ashley Troutman, as you mentioned earlier, is leading a lot of Division II softball, excuse me. And deep drive into left field, way back there and gone! A game-tying 3-run homer from Ashley Troutman. And she steps on home plate, greeted by everyone. And we have a 4-4 ball game.
Did she need that or what? She was 0 for her last 4. This place has come alive now, and she's tied it.
That's exactly what she needed, exactly what Rollins needed. That ball was gone the whole way. As soon as she made contact with it, the Rollins fans ahead of us were immediately on their feet. Everyone knew that ball was gone. So that'll take Mary Beth Feldman out of the game, who pitched 1.1 and had 4 earned runs. Pitching a great game there in the beginning. However, Rollins has really come alive here in the second.
Gwen McGinnis is coming on now, pitched 2/3 of an inning yesterday.
Gwen McGinnis making her 14th appearance. She also has 2 saves, and she's 5-0 on the season. She's pitched 34 total innings. So Grace Germer, second baseman, who is already 1 for 1 on the day with a double, and she scored the only run that Rollins had in the first.
I did mention it yesterday. She did have a 4-hit game back earlier last month. Tried to bunt it, but it looked like they were ready at first and third to field it.
And the coach is very upset, and it looks like the Tampa fans are upset too, because it was called a no. They say that she pulled her bunt back in time, and the first base umpire agreed. Umpire writing something down here, not exactly sure, but
it's kind of hard to see that stuff from our vantage point, but from here it looked pretty close.
Definitely a close call. We've had a lot of those in this game, especially with 2 dominant teams facing off.
Another thing that comes with these closely contested matchups with these 2 great teams, the passion we're seeing from the coaches and the fans as well. Every little thing they
exactly
want to.
Yeah,
but when your teams are this good, you earn that right.
Exactly. As she gets a strike now, which will bring the count to 3-1. Good advantage for her with only 1 out. Rollins can get back on base. She fouled that one back into the umpire's helmet. And the count is full again. She's going to take a trip down to the third base coach, say something real quick. Rollins hitting great today. They're 5 for 9 in the appearances they've had, batting .556. And fouled off. Way out. mostly just a lot of street over there. I know we see a lot of open field ahead, but directly behind the stadium is mostly just a street and a couple buildings, obviously. And Grace Germer takes ball 4. So Gwen McGinney, not how she wanted to start, definitely. Bree Michelli now coming up to the plate, who we've seen make a lot of plays over at third base today.
9 runners have reached for Tampa, 7 for Rollins. Nice turnaround from yesterday when there were only 11 combined hits.
Yeah, 2 completely different games, and that's exactly what you can see from 2 great teams. Is one day they're hot, one day they're cold, and it just happened to be that they're on the same day. Grace Germer was taking off for second, but Bree fouled it off to the right side. So 0-2 count now, and she's squaring up to bunt, pulls back, swing and a miss, strike 3. So the sophomore having a great day defensively. Going back to, now it's Taylor Waters batting cleanup. She is a senior.
Ripped a single in the first. That drove in Germer for the run.
So we'll see if Germer goes again, and she almost did and fouled back. And swing and a miss, strike 2. So that'll bring the count to 1-2 now for Rollins. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Rollins got 3 runs and tied it up off an Ashley Troutman home run.
Germer goes again.
And Germer sliding out at second, so that's going to end the inning. So that'll be our 3rd out, but Rollins was able to come back in a big way. So we got a 4-4 ball game now heading into the top of the 3rd. We'll be back.
All right, again, everybody, welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Number 2, Tampa Spartans, Rollins College Stars going at it. Game even at 4. We've seen a lot of offense. Hi, everybody, again. Carlos Mancia, Joseph Lemlin, Kate DeSimone leading off for Tampa. Avery Garbarek at the circle deals for ball 1.
She's played in all 26 games that the Rollins Spartans have played this season.
Tampa Spartans, but it happens to the best of us. Don't worry. 2-0 count. Again, DeSimone, a D2 ADA Academic Achievement Award winner last year from the NCAA, and gets ahead of the count 3-0.
Not what Rollins is looking for here. With a dominant offense, you want to look to not have any runners on.
And there's a 4-pitch walk. Stephanie Ballmer up, the senior shortstop from Tampa, Florida. Drops a bunt here and is thrown out at first.
Great scoop.
Again, great hustle from Tampa, but just heads up on defense to make the play at first.
A little bit of a bumpy throw from Avery to first, but luckily Grace Germer was actually covering first. Not a first baseman on this Rollins Tars team, but a scoop like she was.
But hey, if you're the Tars, you don't care if it's pretty as long as it works.
Exactly, so they were able to secure one out there, but a runner on second still.
Lauren Fantone at the plate, drawing 2 walks to start the game. The runner on second, 2-0. Fantone from DeLand, not far from here. 6th in fielding percentage. Last year, and again having another dominant defensive season. But now ahead in the count here, 3-0.
Having a hard time with choosing a pitch, or there might be a problem with the communication, because on that last pitch, they were going back and forth quite a bit.
Tried to sweep a bunt, but pulled back for ball 4. Now the 4th walk issued by Garbarek in 1 1/3. Lily Keister now up.
Speaking of all those walks, that's really where a lot of Tampa's offense has come from, as they're only 2 for 9 in this entire game. Only 2 hits. Rollins has 5 total hits. So it's really just come from walks. The Spartans have been walked 10 times.
There's a 3rd hit, as it will fall into right. Good play by Jaden Walker to make the throw at home to keep the runner at 3rd.
Yeah, that was on a dot right into the glove. It's a good thing that the Tampa player did not go. She would have been gunned down.
Mariah Galhouse back up. 1 for 2. Previously recording a base hit. And lined out to 3rd. Speaking of line drives to 3rd, that's line foul to 3rd. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Galhouse behind 0-1. Delivers. Low for ball 1.
Mariah Galehouse already 1 for 2 on the day, looking to improve here.
She's just been an incredible player for Tampa. We've talked about her hitting today. Has a 1.55 ERA. She swings for strike 2. Big pitch here with a chance to get the 2nd out.
Rollins hoping for a ground ball here for a double play.
Flying in the left, catch is made, runner goes, relay throw not made, and it's 5-4 Tampa.
Ball was just deep enough to score the run, so Tampa takes the lead.
Credit Bree Michelli for the cutoff there. Had that throw gotten away, Rollins would have found themselves in some trouble. Cameron Winninger on for Tampa. Has walked twice, scored back in the 1st.
Almost got beamed there on the inside corner.
Winninger walked 13 times coming into today. That's up to 15. It's in for strike 1.
Great pitch on that low outside corner. That's exactly where she needs to keep the ball. That's a lot where the umpire is calling it and where these Tampa Spartans aren't getting the bat on it.
Garbrick now facing her 12th batter. In an inning and 2/3. That's hit well. Popped up and right over the Rollins dugout. 2-2 count.
The Tampa coach is very vocal. I can hear her easily from here and everything.
Another pop-up. And the catch made by Claire Long for out number 3. Tars limit the damage to 1. Find themselves behind 5-4 with a chance to tie or take the lead. Be back to the bottom of the 4th in just a second. Welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Bottom half of the 3rd coming up.
Very tight game as Tampa only has a 1-run lead, but Rollins has been amazing offensively.
I said the 4th earlier. This game's been so much fun. I thought we were in the 4th. Taylor Waters up. She's been huge for them today. 1 for 1. Hits this one well, but it is playable for Tampa. Catch is made. It's short by Stephanie Ballmer.
One of 3 freshmen in this lineup, Claire Long. Last year when she was in high school, in her final year, she earned all district, all conference, all state, and team MVP.
So to have her in the middle of the order as a freshman with those kind of achievements says a lot.
It does. She's been on it offensively today as well with the single back in the 1st inning.
Finds herself down 0-2. Hits this in the left. Drifting foul, but it is caught and left by Lauren Fantone for out number 2.
Good play. She followed it the entire way and got to the edge.
Jaden Walker up 0 for 1. Had 5 RBI and 3 runs against Post back on the 10th of March.
Yeah, she's got a very high slugging percentage as well with a .558. One of the highest on the team.
And you want to talk about great high school achievements. Was first team All-State in 2019 with 47 RBI and a .410 average.
You hear the Rollins chants going strong in the dugout as there have been a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Takes ball. No, strike 2 looking.
Some sort of off-speed pitch.
On the 1-2. It's upstairs. Count even at 2.
Rollins has done a great job keeping an eye on the ball. Only one strikeout throughout this game. They're doing really well on that.
Gwen McGinnis has done a good job riding the ship for Tampa as well. It's popped up, left, and the play is made by Fantone once again. Tampa gets out of the inning unscathed, up 5-4. Back for the fourth in a second.
Welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. I'm Joseph Lemel, and aside Carlos Mancia here at Martin Luther King Jr. Park at Rollins College. We got the Rollins College Tars facing off against the Tampa Spartans. Currently, Tampa's leading 5-4 through 3 innings. Getting into the middle part of the game, and it's going to be Alexa Russo, the third baseman for Tampa, coming to the plate. And she'll take a ball right on the inside corner.
Russo, we mentioned, is a great hitter, and that's evident even if you look back to our last season. Had 4 multi-hit games a year ago.
Fouled straight back into the net. That'll bring the count to 1-1. Avery Garbarek back for her third inning. She's pitched 2 and only given up 1 hit and 1 earned run. Popped up straight into center field, but Grace Germer backs up and makes the catch for the first out.
Next up is going to play number 10, Avery Perkins.
Coming to the bat, the DH lefty, who is already 1 for 1, Avery Perkins. She had 2 RBIs back in the first inning, and she was walked in her last plate appearance. So having a great game offensively. Avery looking to shut that down. 1 out and no base runners here. Just off the shoe cleat of the catcher. So 2 balls.
Rollins grateful that there was nobody on.
Had a couple problems with some past balls, but Emma Gipple has done a great job with stopping them behind the plate. And they say she didn't go around and can't really check down at first base because she's a lefty, so he would have had no angle on it. So 3-0. Strike called outside corner. Again, kind of a late strike call there. She was about to throw her bat down and take first base.
I mean, it was a common thread last night. We're seeing it here again. A lot of these pitches low in the corners.
And again, a walk. So that'll be the 10th walk of the game for Tampa. Kind of been the kryptonite of Rollins here. That's been what has been sparking their offense. However, they've done a great job defensively. So that'll bring Lexi Chevalier to the plate. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Rollins maybe looking for a big double play here. Great off-speed pitch there, low and in. So it's going to be 0-2 count quickly here. Avery Perkins still over on first.
looked like she wanted to jump the previous pitch, and she went there.
So still holding an 0-2 count through 3 pitches in this at-bat. The Tars looking for a quick inning here. And chopped into left field. That'll get down foul. It looked like it was going fair for a lot of the time.
It looked like it had drifted just foul right as it was coming down.
So still an 0-2 count now. Fouled left side. Still has not seen a ball throughout this at-bat. Great for the Rollins pitcher, Avery Garbarek.
Which is a complete 180 from what we saw earlier in the game. A lot of these full counts and 3 ball at bat.
And swinging a miss at a high fastball. That'll send her back to the dugout as out number 2. And that'll bring up Kate DeSimone.
Here's first baseman number 7, Kate DeSimone.
She's walked twice thus far.
And she'll take a ball down low. Avery has only given up 1 hit through 2.2 now. However, 6 balls have been the only thing holding her back. She's pitching dominantly now with a 1-1 count.
Yeah, she seemed a little rattled when she came in, but has done a great job just calming the game down, really.
Great pitch there, upper right corner. Emma Gipple held it there to make sure he could see he was in the zone, so that'll bring it to a 1-2 count now, 2 outs. And fouled right into the on-deck circle.
Garbarek, a journalism major, so shout out to journalism. Speaking of which, thank you to the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting and Rollins College for giving Joseph and I these opportunities to call these games.
And the ball looks like it's fair there. However, Kate fouled it off herself. So as soon as the ball hit her, it became foul. And she looks fine and like it didn't affect her. However, the umpire is still checking. So a 1-2 count now with 2 outs. A runner on first is going to be a ball upstairs, bring the count to 2-2. Outside, bringing it to a full count now.
Right on cue, I mentioned the lack of full counts, and here we are.
Again, as the runner on first will take off as soon as she can with a full count. And a foul ball, just foul. Bree got a glove on it over at third base.
I tell you what, Bree Michelle has been locked in defensively today.
She's been an absolute brick wall over there, not letting anything get by her today.
As we saw there, even if it was foul.
Full count, driven into center field. Taylor Waters back, off the wall. So they're going to get it in, and 1 run is going to come around to score. 6-4, Tampa. It's a good piece of hitting. Taylor had it tracked down there. However, it just ended up hitting the wall at the last second. That'll bring up Stephanie Ballmer, who fouls off her first pitch. Tampa has been able to score in every inning so far. The Tars did as well, except for the 3rd inning. Tars doing great defensively here against Tampa, doing everything they can. Avery pitching very good. So a 1-1 count She's going to try to get ahead of her here, I'd imagine. Don't want to keep working those 3-1 counts. And bunts right down to the pitcher. Throw to Grace Germer is over her head. So that's going to bring a run home. And Stephanie Balmer is going to be standing on second.
I was going to say the bunt was a great idea in the sense that it could have driven home that runner from third. Throwing error just added insult to injury.
That's exactly what they were looking for, honestly, with that bunt. You know, just hoping for a throwing error or just hope something goes wrong, and that's exactly what happened. So Tampa gets their second run of the inning. They're leading 7-4. That'll be marked as a throwing error, so not a hit for Stephanie Balmer. Lauren Fanto has been walked all 3 plate appearances. So she'll have a hitter's count here as well. First time she was walked, only got to first, but the next 2 times she was able to advance to second base as well. And it looked like she went to go for the bunt, pulled back in the last second, but it was called strike anyway. That'll bring it 2-1 count. Another called strike, so that brings this count to 2-2 with 2 outs.
Looks like Tampa's just gambling, hoping that one of these pitches will miss.
And popped up straight to the catcher. She wouldn't even have to move to secure the catch. So Tampa was able to get a couple of runs there, but Rollins still very much in this one. They're down 4-7. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening to the Sunshine State Conference Network. And welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Radio Digital Network. I'm Joseph Lummel, aside Carlos Mancini. Mancia. Excuse me. And
happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
Sarah Young, the DH, will step in. Fouled off immediately the first pitch. Sarah's had 1 plate appearance and popped it up. Second baseman. And quickly in an 0-2 count here. With no outs, she is leading off for Rollins this inning. And that one's hit well into center field. Lily Keister settled under it for the first out.
Judging on sound alone, it just sounded like it had a chance just for a second.
Exactly. Now the catcher, who's been doing a lot of work behind the plate, been managing a lot of pass balls, Emma Gipple, freshman. She was walked in her in the second inning in her only plate appearance, and she was able to score as well. I believe off the Ashley Troutman home run back in the bottom of the second. Ball in the dirt. 1-1 count now.
By the way, just based off of the Tampa base running alone, I do not envy Emma Gipple's job at all today.
Exactly.
She has done great. And then
A lot of work. You never know when they were going to do it. And Tampa, they've been very unpredictable, just very random double steals, random steals. They've definitely been keeping her on her toes. As she fouls another one back. So still a 1-2 count. And still Gwen McGinnis pitching here for Tampa. Great pitch outside corner, a little bit too outside. That brings the count to 2-2.
if you recall, they pulled Maribeth Feldman after that home run from Ashley Troutman. But ever since, Tampa's pitching has been lights out.
As Emma Gipple strike 3. And that'll bring up Kaylee Rodnick. She is 1 for 1 on the day, playing out in left field. She had a single. And again, she scored off a Ashley Troutman home run back in the second. And they say that she went around there. So that'll be strike 1.
Felt like she tried to draw a walk with a button. She's going to do it again here.
But Tampa has recognized that trick, it looks like. So she's gone back-to-back fastballs right down the middle when she goes for the bunt trick. And she'll go for it again. We'll see if we see a third right down the middle. Yep, strike 3. So Zarodnik will head back, and Tampa will be coming out onto the field to start off the top of the 5th. I'm Joseph Lemlin, aside Carlos Mancia. We'll be right back. And welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We're here for some Rollins Tar softball. We'll have Lily Keister leading it off for Tampa. But I want to give a special thank you to Rollins College for allowing us to be here. My name is Joseph Lemlin, aside Carlos Mancia. We're from the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. Thank you for the opportunity.
That's stepping on your toes here. It's an odd inning. So that'll bring up Lily Keister, like you mentioned. 1 hit in 2 previous at-bats. This is outside, 1-1, the count. Something I noticed today, really, is these hitters seem to be a little more patient on both sides, really. Not really chasing too many balls outside the zone.
No, really waiting for their pitch, and I think that's why we've seen so many full counts is they're really waiting for their pitch.
14 base runners for Tampa today, 7 for Rollins. But a 2-2 count here now. Avery Garbarek returns for her 4th inning of work. On a 2-2, grounded right to Garbarek and down the middle for a base hit.
Not the start they were looking for, as that one just barely got between her legs.
Second hit for Keister. Mariah Galhouse up. She'll square up a bunt here. It's going to be a close play at first, and it's in time. 4 out number 1. Keister advances to second.
Great play there. Claire Long popped off the bag, and Grace Germer got over in time. Claire Long made a great throw. It was a very close play. Umpire made the right call.
Tars have done a better job today communicating defensively as that popped up behind first. And did she catch it? No, they're going to say she did not. But tremendous hustle nonetheless. Couldn't really tell from here whether or not she caught it, but again, great play.
Just barely out of view for us with the dugout right there. Great layout for it. Thought she had it for a second. It must have just popped out.
It's the most exciting pitch you'll see get to a 1-0 count, or an 0-1 count. Cameron Winninger up for Tampa. The transfer from D1 Memphis. Didn't see much action while she was there. One that's lined to the left, and it just drifts foul. It may have been able to drive home the run. Currently on second.
Cameron's really someone that you can count on just to score a run, just to get home. She's third on the team in scored runs.
She'll pop this one up. The play is made by Grace Germer, who's had herself a day defensively.
She's been all over the place, especially since the first baseman Claire Long has been having to handle a lot of bunts up close, so Grace has had to cover first a lot.
Alexa Russo on. She'll pop this up right over our heads for a foul ball.
That loud bang when the softball hits that metal roof.
Oh, 1 upstairs for ball 1. Russo 0 for 3 today. Taking a strikeout looking, but reached on an error. And she'll line this one into the gap. That'll score a run, and it's 8-4. It'll be a 2-out double to give Tampa a 4-run cushion.
Just a little update from the baseball team. Rollins started at 1 p.m. The baseball team now playing Tampa, currently in the bottom of the second, and they're tied up at 1.
Pinch runner now on for Tampa. It's Abigail Siegel, the Clearwater native. She came on as a pinch runner late yesterday, scored a run in the 7th, or in the 6th rather. That's popped in, that will fall in the hole for a base hit, and another run will score. It's Siegel.
That's exactly why they did the pinch run with 2 outs. You know their only opportunity to score that run from second is most likely going to be on a base hit with 2 outs. So they had someone speedy at second, and she was able to get home on a really basic base hit.
9-4 lead for Tampa as we're here in the top of the 5th. Take strike 1 looking is Lexi Chevalier. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. That's one of the few players for Tampa who hasn't had their bats popped off yet. on the 1-1. Runner goes, foul. Wait to get a new ball. Grounded sharply to third and another base hit.
That one just landed perfectly in the gap.
It's now 3 2-out hits for Tampa here in the fifth. Kate DeSimone now at the dish for Tampa. 2 on, 2 out.
Avery looking to close out her 4th pitched inning. Avery, she's pitched 3.2 so far, 4 earned runs, and she's coming up on 100 pitches.
That comes after 2 innings of work from Taylor Hartman.
Taylor had 50 pitches in that first inning. So we're seeing a lot of high pitch counts.
I know we were talking that pitch count may be a factor with as to why Hartman was pulled so early. They thought that was ball 4. Tampa did, and so did their fans. Instead, it's still a hitter's count at 3-1. And that's called for ball 4. So once again, a bases loaded situation for Tampa.
2 outs. Don't want to let this go any further, especially with the top of the order coming up soon.
Having a conference at the circle, which, as you mentioned, big at bat coming up. You don't want to see the top of the order, like you mentioned.
Stephanie Ballmer is 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out in the first, fly out in the third, and she reached on that error from the throw from Avery. Avery threw it over to first.
That looks like it's in the gap, but a great play made in right by Jaden Walker. Will again limit the damage to 2. Tampa up 9-4. Tars with a chance to respond here in the 5th. Coming up on the SSC Digital Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 5th. Here, Rollins finds themselves down 9-4. But what better way to kickstart a potential rally with Ashley Troutman, who again, as we mentioned, leads the nation in batting average in all of Division II. Rips the first pitch foul.
She had the game-tying home run back in the second inning where Rollins was down 4-1. So Rollins has that power to be able to come back from just about anything.
After that home run is when they pulled McGinnis. She's only issued a walk since.
So not sure if that comes from maybe the bats just stopped going after that, or, you know, it comes from dominant pitching as well. Rollins looking to break that.
0-2 pitch. Popped up to short. Play made by Stephanie Ballmer for out number 1. Grace Germer now up, second highest average on the team at 390. Gets on base 46% of the time and will bunt here.
And they say it's fair.
The throw is in time for out number 2.
Good bunt, good execution on it. At the end of the day, it was Lexi Chevalier, who we haven't seen a lot of action from at the catcher position today. Made a great throw down to first.
Now up, Michele. 0 for 2 on the day. On the 1-0. Take strike 1 looking. He's German. Or not German, Bree Michele. The 4-year letter winner for 2 head coaches while she was in high school. That's lined into the gap for a base hit. A much needed hit for the Tars. As that keeps the 5th inning alive. Taylor Waters now up.
Two-out rally here potential for Rollins with Taylor Waters a 1 for 2. Already had an RBI back in the first.
Here's the pitch on the 0-1 upstairs.
Just another quick update on the Rollins baseball game against Tampa. They now lead Tampa 2-1 in the bottom of the third.
Tampa highly ranked there as well. As it looks like a swinging bunt. The catch is made behind first. And they're going to say it was not made. Looked like she got it there for a second. Great hustle play behind first from Kate DeSimone. Waters rips it foul. Waters, the 3rd toughest batter to strike out in the conference a year ago, striking out every 30.8 at bats. Well, another foul.
A lot of times you see players backing up when they see that inside fastball come in, but she just uses power and pulls it out into left field. Just happened to be foul.
To my point about Waters, she's been able to continue that success this year, striking out just 8 times in 98 at-bats. Takes ball 2 now. Two count, that's ripped in the right, but it's a play that is made by Galhouse to end the 5th. Tampa still up 9-4 on the SSC Digital Network.
Welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We're back here in the top of the 6th. Tampa currently leads 9-4, and they'll have the top of their lineup due up with Lauren Fantone, 0 for 1 on the day. Puts down a bunt to the pitcher, and she is able to make the play over at first. So that'll be a quick first out. And that's the first time a bunt has been unsuccessful for Tampa today. That'll bring up the center fielder, Lily Keister.
Fantone had fouled out to the catcher in the 4th, but prior to that, walked 3 consecutive at-bats to start the game.
Lily Keister's reached first base every time she comes up.
Scored 3 times on top of that as well.
So just a quick chat between the umpire and the Rollins head coach. Looking like a pitching change coming up here for the Tars.
Solid 6 innings of 4 1/3 innings of work for Avery Garbarek. Faced 27 batters. Interesting to see who comes out of the bullpen, considering the doubleheader coming up.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. Luckily, they've gotten through most of this game with just 2 pitchers. And now the umpire going out to speak with the other one. Not exactly sure. I think this is a pitching change, but we just haven't seen a pitcher come out yet. So we're not exactly sure what's happening here. Maybe some additional changes on top of a pitching change. But we'll see here in a moment.
Can't really see any activity in the Tar bullpen from where we're at.
No, and Avery is still standing out there. So again, we're here in the top of the 6th. Rollins has been playing some great defense today. And that continued. Avery was able to field that ball and get the out at first. And the umpires are now looking to talk to a member of the Rollins staff. So they're going to have a chat right here. I'm not sure if you guys have an angle on that. So it looks like there was a bit of an issue with the lineup. And so they're checking to see who led off the inning.
It was Lauren Fantone.
Yeah, they've been following their batting order, so I'm not exactly sure what the problem. I guess they were just clarifying to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Mariah Galhouse was on deck. She was due up.
So not a pitching change here. Maybe just a little bit of confusion with the lineups, and we're all set. Nothing happening.
I believe the issue may have been Galhouse was coming up instead of Lily Keister.
So they got the right batter in there now. You got Keister has reached on every play and scored on 3 out of 4 of them. She takes a strike on the outside corner there. We're back to softball action after a little bit of confusion.
The Garbarek's 4 1/3 continue.
And she gets it. Throw to first and in time. So Grace Germer got it to Claire Long for the second out of the inning. So pretty quick 2 outs here, bringing up Mariah Galhouse.
One batter later than she initially anticipated, but she's found her way to the plate.
Ball upstairs to start this at-bat. She's going to want to try to get ahead here early. Ball 2 now. So a quick 2-0 count. Pitch in the dirt.
Another great defensive play at catcher by Gipple.
Gipple putting on a clinic behind the plate today. So a 3-0 with 2 quick outs from the Tars. The pitch. Strike called inside corner. Bringing the count to 3-1 now. Mariah Galehouse had her only hit back in the first, and she came around to score as well as she takes ball 4. So she'll reach base for the second time this game.
Second baseman, 12, Cameron Winninger.
Winninger now up, previously 0 for 2. But did reach base on a pair of walks.
Called strike 1 on the inside corner. So, again, this is what she's going to want to do, and working the count early, not getting stuck in those 3-0. Ball in the dirt, 1-1.
She is a 400 hitter, so she can kickstart a 2-out rally here for Tampa to perhaps add some more cushion to this lead.
Absolutely. She didn't have any hits this game, but again, the great thing about the 2 top caliber teams is they can do anything. As she takes off for second, Emma Gipple with a 1 hopper to second. So she was safe. And Mariah Galehouse has another stolen base. Ball in the dirt. Great stop from Gipple. So 3-1 now. Hitters count with 2 outs and a runner on second. And swinging a foul back. Potentially could have been a ball 4 if she didn't swing at it. So a full count again. 2 outs. Seen plenty of those today. And she...
Too many to count at this point.
The pitch. Inside and low. So that'll advance the runner. So we got runners on first and second now. Alexa Russo stepping in, the right-hander. But the Rollins coach coming out again to have another chat.
We have a pitching change.
And there it is. And we'll have Taylor Hartman re-enter the game?
It appears so.
It appears so. So she'll come back in. She pitched about 50 pitches in the first inning and walked 1 batter in the second. And she was taken out for Avery Garbarek, who pitched 4.2, 4 earned runs. And so now we have Taylor Hartman. Yes, so she pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, but also had 2 strikeouts. She only faced 10 batters and had around 50 pitches. So actually a great strategy coming from the Rollins coach to preserve that. As you said, we got a doubleheader going on today. So in an attempt to preserve, I guess she was saving her, but taking her out after 1, she was just saving her for later in the game.
Given that Hartman will likely play in the field, or could possibly come in as a pinch hitter like she did yesterday, or be used in some capacity in that second game, that will be started by Emily McMullen in all likelihood.
So it's still going to be Alexa Russo stepping in. She's 1 for 4. Got her only hit back in the 5th inning. It was a double that brought in a run. So Tampa with Cameron Winninger on first base and Mariah Galehouse on second. Gives the first ball.
By the way, one interesting thing about Hartman, sure, she's a freshman. She just graduated at Spruce Creek High School last year. Already in her school's Hall of Fame.
Wow. Only a freshman as she drives that one deep center field. Settle under it, Taylor Waters. So that'll be the third out of the inning, and we'll move on to the bottom of the sixth. Tampa currently leading 9-4. We'll be right back. And welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. I'm Joseph Lemmel, and aside Carlos Mancia. We're here at Martin Luther King Jr. Park, and we're from the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. I want to give a special thank you to Rollins, allowing us to be here today on a beautiful sunny day here in Winter Park. And got the same pitcher, still pitching for Tampa, Gwen McGinnis. As a quick 1-1 count.
Tampa couldn't have asked for McGinnis to be any better today. Just been locked in, giving up one hit through 3 2/3.
The freshman Claire Long drives that one into center field. Settles under it and makes the catch. Lily Keister.
Next up, the Stars, right fielder number 18, Jaden Walker.
Keister's been big offensively for them. 2 for 4. Made plenty of plays out there in center field today. Jaden Walker up to bat. And the chant coming from the Tars dugout is literally Jaden Walker. So
Simple enough. Easy
simple,
to remember.
exactly. So 0-1 count. High fastball, strike 2. Jaden's 0 for 2 today, looking to get her first hit of the day.
Usually very good at recording extra base hits. 540 slugging percentage.
Absolutely, that's why she had a really hard hit ball in the first inning to the shortstop, and then later on she had a big hit to the outfield. So we know what she's capable of. We'll see what she does here in a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that'll be 2 outs for the Rollins Tars. It's going to bring Sarah Young to the plate. She is the DH today. She's in her most recent plate appearance. It was a high fly ball into right field. Fouled right back at us for strike 1.
Young capable of some big performances when it matters. She had a stolen base and a run last May against Embry Riddle in the midst of their leading up to that SSC tournament run.
She's batting .263 this year. As a check swing, a foul. She didn't want to go, but her bat had already gone around a little bit, got a hold of it. So a quick 0-2 count here with 2 outs for the Tars. Gwen McGinnis is pitching her 5th inning. High fastball. Bring it to 1-2.
I mean, we saw yesterday and even today at the start of the game, Tampa was using a lot of off-speed pitches. It seems that they've strayed away from that of late.
She's going right at it with the fastball. I think she's thrown almost all fastballs here in this at-bat. Trying to put away Sarah Young, but she's doing very well being dealt these fastballs. Has a 1-2 count. And popped up. And Alexa Russo covers it. So that's going to do it for the 6th inning here. We'll head into the top of the 7th. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the SSC Conference Digital Network. Back for the 7th inning of action. Tampa trying to close this one out, up 9-4. Now here in the top half, trying to add maybe an extra insurance run or two. Avery Perkins up 2 for 4 on the day. 2 for 3 rather. And a walk. Flown away for strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch, grounded to first, and the play is made by Claire Long.
Took a really bad hop. She was able to get her glove up and away.
Here's the catch, number 13, Lexi Chevalier.
Chevalier now up for the Tars, or for the Spartans rather. 1 for 4 on the day. High pitch upstairs for ball 1. Chevalier, 59 defensive chances a year ago, only 1 error. That goes to show her defensive prowess. One count. Chevalier continuing that this year with a fielding percentage of .992. Hits this 2-1, crushed in the left, and it'll go all the way. Second hit of the day for Chevalier. In just her 3rd home run on the year.
Whole dugout out there to meet her.
Just the 2nd home run allowed all year by Taylor Hartman. DeSimone takes ball 1. Hartman deal. Ball 2. Fouled back. DeSimone 1 for 1 on the day. However, she's walked 3 times. Scored twice. had that double in the fourth, which drove home a run of her own. That's grounded to short. The play is made. Ashley Troutman to Claire Long. That's good for out number 2.
Shortstop number 2, Stephanie Ballmer.
Stephanie Ballmer up.
And if you're just tuning in, this is only game 1 of 2. Right after this, we got another game between Rollins and Tampa in this doubleheader today. Got some amazing weather for it here.
On the 1-0. Called for strike 1. Swung right down the line at third. Great defensive play by Bree Shelley. And gets it to Claire Long for out number 3. Claire Long played a part in all 3 outs of the 7th yesterday. Now played a part in all 3 outs here today in the 7th. We go to the bottom half in a second. Welcome back to the SSC Digital Network. 3 outs left in regulation. If the Tars want to try and extend this game.
Morgan Labita, pinch hitting now, 20th appearance.
Played previously at North Carolina Central University for 1 year and Santa Fe College in Gainesville for 3. Did not play at North Carolina Central. Count 0-2 here to start. Here's an average of 132 on, 132 on the year. On the 0-2, misses for ball 1. Two and two. Hits this, it's popped in the left, and the play is made by Lauren Fantone.
Good contact on that one, just didn't have enough on it.
Zarodnik now up, she's 1 for 2. Did reach base in that 7th inning rally yesterday. Shows bunt here and pulls back. Pops this one up, and the play made at first by Kate DeSimone. Tars down to their final out.
Quick update on the baseball game. It's currently 2-2 now in the bottom of the 5th.
Now Ashley Trotman with a chance to extend the game. Swings at the first pitch, down the line, foul. Which is smoked right off the bat.
She bounced back after a no-hit game yesterday. came out and had a massive home run in the second inning.
Reminder that she is one steal away from setting the school record, or breaking the school record for steals in a season. Record that she set. She is also the school record for steals in a game with 6, set last year. Foul, 0-2 count. Tars down to their final strike.
Still with a lot of games left, do you think how much could she break her own record?
Right. She's got a number of opportunities. Chopped over the head of Russo at third. And she's going to round first. And now she's tied up and tagged for out number 3. So that'll do it from Martin Luther King Jr. Park. A little bit of excitement there at the end. And a 10-4 win for the Tampa Spartans. Reminder that game 2 of this doubleheader coming up in just a bit. So for Rollins College, the SSC, Joseph Lemlin, thank you to the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting and Rollins as well. Thank you for watching. Reminder again, game 2 coming up.